Yo, what's going on, guys? Matthew V. Haynes here, aka the Clock Master. I'm here with my wife,
Shannon, aka Cosmic Banks.
And we are here to check out
Percy Jackson, the Olympians, episode. What episode is this? Which one? 4.
I thought we were like 5 episodes in for some reason.
I think because of the premiere, usually it's 3, but it was only 2.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
episode 4.
I thought it was 5 too.
Yeah.
4.
Episode 4. There you go.
How many? Is there 8 episodes?
I think so.
Oh, we're halfway through.
Yeah.
Dang.
Dang, I wonder how much of the first book they're gonna do 8 episodes. That's interesting.
Well, they might
Boy,
be
ain't
trying
no
to.
way, man.
I don't know, man.
Ain't no way they're gonna try to tie this up in 4 more episodes.
I don't know. Maybe they're in for the long haul.
Huh.
I don't know.
I mean, it's possible they might try to tie it all up
It's possible.
in 8 episodes.
Disney is known for that.
Yeah, it's quite possible. I don't know. We'll see what they do.
Yeah.
Okay, well, anyways, full reaction to this is on Patreon if you guys are new here. If you guys want to check that out, and welcome. Please check out our previous reactions. I forgot how to do intros for some reason. And Happy New Year. I think this is our first video of the new year.
Yeah.
So Happy New Year.
New Year.
Yep, this is our first video of the year, so yeah. And yeah, just make sure you go check out the previous reactions to the previous episodes. Don't want to spend too much time talking. I will just say this as a disclaimer for all the new people. I read the books, albeit a long time ago, but I read all the books, at least of the first 5 Percy Jackson books, and I think I stopped. I think I keep saying I stopped around the beginning of Heroes of Olympus, so around there. And then Shannon has not read or seen any of the movies, so this is completely, the story is very fresh to her.
Yep.
So yeah, keep that in mind in the comments, even though she doesn't look at them all the time, but just keep that in mind. And yeah, that's pretty much all you need to know for now. You can check out the previous videos. Okay, so all right, let's get right into it. Talk about it later as you normally do. Let's get into it now.
If you don't know how to do this, one day it could be really, really important.
Her trying to prep him, huh?
Foreshadowing.
Well, I mean, she's trying to like prep him.
Yeah.
That's what you
Especially-
want me to do.
Especially when they showed her like trying to teach him how to like mention that she was teaching him things.
Yeah.
They attract doom. She is coming.
She who? Who's she?
Father, it isn't supposed to work that way. People who are close to you aren't supposed to treat you that way.
I mean, he's really not wrong.
No.
That was a problem.
An evil stepmother, as usual.
Left. I was 7.
Damn.
Damn.
Jeez.
She already young as it is too.
Right.
Damn! Are you okay?
He's super grouchy when he doesn't get enough sleep.
He's super grouchy when he does.
Like, sir. Hey, how y'all doing, brothers? Let's run next to each other. How y'all doing today?
Sometimes you just gotta let it come to you when it's ready.
Words of wisdom.
Can I see your tickets, please?
What about it?
What about it, brother?
Oh?
You want to explain?
How am I supposed to know?
What I do?
Just go to the office.
What I do?
I don't think you want to take that tone with me, little girl.
I mean, are we under arrest?
Are we under arrest?
I mean, you have to ask that question.
Literally.
No, you really do have to ask that question, though.
Do you mind if I sit?
Yes, I do mind.
You poor dears.
I don't trust her.
Excuse me. Would you mind giving us
Mm-mm.
space?
Demon lady.
I think you're making them nervous.
Definitely all sus.
Someone smashed them in from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
God.
Yes.
I'm actually shocked Annabeth didn't pick up on that.
monsters like me. Well,
Did I stutter?
of course they're like me.
But they're not me.
They were my children.
Well,
Well,
You will be her prey.
excuse me?
I'm sorry.
It's like, I disagree. Nah, I ain't
Also
afraid.
essential to the hunt. Your fear.
All right, Craven, calm down.
Grow, because that's what a good mother does for her children. Not that you would know.
Bruh. Ew.
Dang.
On that.
Good
Ew.
God.
I hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
I know. And I think it's a puppy. And it's literally not a puppy.
No, it's not. It's a deadly
It's
creature.
a deadly creature that looks like a cute little puppy, and it's just not. Oof. Got a stinger in you.
Now you about to go on an acid trip or something. About to be like Peter with Scorpion.
Right.
Keep going. Don't stop.
I'm talking about what it actually is.
Whatever.
Yeah, humans like to profit off everything.
Yeah.
Just because we're prey doesn't mean we need to be helpless.
You only pray if you make yourself pray.
Yeah. Did you watch the movie Prey?
Anyway, we needed a safe place, and your mom had one waiting. Pretty lucky we happened to be in the right city for it.
Luck or fate?
That is the question.
I think you're about to call me a friend. Somewhere around here, the Oracle is laughing at us, but you know. Whoa! Percy!
Yep, there it is. Delayed effect.
Oh! I have an idea. Come on, help me.
You know, I think
It's
it's
like-
working.
Like, theoretically.
This is a great
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, maybe not quite. Oh, great.
We need to get back inside.
No, we need to keep trying.
This isn't working, and she's coming.
Damn.
God, that's more terrifying.
I know.
Just a rogue Karen.
What did she say?
You thought she couldn't come inside.
Right, I'm about to say, I thought you couldn't come up in here.
I embarrassed my mother.
I'm the one who sent the head to us.
Yeah, she still had a part.
Okay,
Go.
Bruh.
wait.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
He wasn't gonna start now.
I mean, his logic though.
Hades.
His logic, I mean,
Yeah.
makes kind of sense where his perspective is at.
Yeah.
Oof. Dang.
I hate that it looks cool too.
I want the Chimera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a lizard tiger.
He's like, hey, little guy. She can be cute if you have perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. No, but that smile.
She could still be cute.
Golly, that is terrifying. Like, oh, God Almighty! Listen, she just force opened the daggone floor. But then the chase is just gonna keep on happening.
I mean, yes, but you know, you get the momentum from the superhero landing, and then everything just okay. Well,
Well, there you go. You predicted it. There you go.
eh.
That's a high drop.
God, my heart is racing. Just
That's a
watching
high
that.
drop.
Talk about chance, huh?
That was actually kind of really cool how they did that.
That was cool.
I'm gonna give him a little assist.
Just
Listen, when Percy Jackson is just a Aquaman origin story, like it's just yeah, just breathe, man.
I mean,
Come on,
literally
just breathe. You don't gotta worry about it. Come on.
Dang.
Man, it's just heating up too.
I know.
Oh my god.
that felt really short.
And all right, let's talk about this one
Yeah.
really quickly.
Yeah, stuff's definitely heating up now.
That was such an odd spot. It's not odd spot, but I'm upset that it stopped there. That's more so what I want to say. Like
Yeah.
I think like we could have had like 10 more minutes of that.
Yeah.
I'd like.
I liked
10
the
more minutes.
parallel from the beginning of the episode to the end, though. I like the parallel from the beginning of the episode to like the end of the episode
What specifically?
with his mom telling him just
Oh, like
breathe.
just breathe. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then coming back up at the end.
Yeah. I can't make any predictions, obviously.
Yeah, you can't.
Like I want to talk about how I think they can approach this from the books, but can't do that.
No.
So it's gonna be mainly your predictions. What you got? What are you thinking? How do you feel about the episode in general? Like, did you think the episode was a well structured episode? Do you think it could have been like? How do you think about it? That like to be like completely honest, like story aside, because overall the story they've been doing well. Like, how do you feel about the overall direction of the episode?
I mean, I liked it. I liked the like how they went about it, and like granted there wasn't like a whole lot of like locations like some episodes might have been. But I feel like they chose very specific locations. Like trains are always scary because it's a closed thing. You're kind of stuck there. And I feel like you felt the pressure from it, like just being trapped and like having this chimera after you and having to like run away from that. And then I think the thing I liked most about the episode was going to the arch or whatever it's called. I don't remember the actual name of it. But and then just the realization of, or for Annabeth, like, I embarrassed my mother, so the one time I need her, she's not going to help me. So I feel like that's gonna have a lot of like development for her and coming to terms with certain things about the gods and how they work. Because, earlier she's like, oh, at least with the gods, we know the rules. But do you though?
Right. They can always change their minds on a whim.
Yeah. And they are like humans in that sense. There might be rules that are laid out, but then, what if you do something that upsets them? They still get upset.
I mean, if you think about it, like, like in most religions or like groups that had different gods, like mankind was always made after the god's image, right? So whether it's like Christianity or like, literally almost any other type of religion I've ever seen or come across that had like a god and man thing, like mankind was always like manufactured in the stories as to being like made in God's or the God's images, right? Like, but in this case, like, the Greeks made the gods look like they're like them, like their people. Like Zeus looked like a strong Giga Chad. And like, like the women, looked like the women that they wanted like, women to look like. I don't know.
Like so, the perfect image.
Like these perfect images of themselves, right? So and if you take that concept, like you could definitely say that the gods in this case, for Percy Jackson, or be like humans because the humans are basically them.
Yeah. Well, I'd say outside of that, but like on an emotion level.
Well, no, I'm saying no. I'm agreeing. I'm adding on to what you're saying. Like,
I see.
Not just the physical properties. I'm talking about like everything. Like, like you're saying, like emotionally, like perspective wise, like, you know, like I don't get my way, I'm gonna throw a fit.
Yeah, and I think that's like a big reason why I liked that point of the episode, because it does show like they can change their minds, and like even with like Poseidon like saving Percy. Yeah. You know, he like Percy has made it a point that he didn't respect his father.
Or had a reason to, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he could have, or Poseidon could have just like, okay, you don't respect me, you don't, you know, whatever. Then, you know, whatever. Own, but that's where that idea comes into play that the gods can really do whatever they want. Yeah. And they do have certain emotions, and, you know, while Athena was embarrassed by what Annabeth did, Poseidon's like, I'm going to give you a chance. Yeah. You know, it's just the very clear differences between how, I guess, they parent in a sense. But it was just really interesting to see the difference, I guess.
Do you know what what Annabeth's thing is?
What Annabeth's thing is? What do you mean?
Like, you know what Percy's abilities are and what they correlate to. Do you know what? But like, besides them mentioning her skill as a fighter, do you know what Annabeth's thing is?
Not per se, no. I know.
Do you have an idea as to what her thing is?
I know Athena's like the goddess of war, right? No? Am I thinking of someone else?
Hades is the god of war.
What is Athena then?
Sorry, not Hades, Ares. Ares is the god of war.
Okay, what is Athena then? Because I knew at one point and I've completely forgot.
I mean, I don't want to.
Because I know, isn't she like an archer or something? At least I could be completely off. It's been a while since I've brushed up on the gods.
Yes. I don't want to like.
Is she not the goddess of war?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Remember, they all represent one thing. You can't have two gods for one thing.
I could have swore it was Athena, though.
Because, like, here, look, all the gods can fight.
Yeah.
All the gods can fight.
It's not goddess of love, is it?
That's Aphrodite.
That's Aphrodite. Like I said, it's been a long time. I probably have not, like, thought about the gods since, like...
Google it.
6th grade. I thought you didn't want me to Google it, so that's why I didn't.
As a matter of fact, nah, don't Google it. Because if you do... Because... I mean, okay, you've kind of already said it already. I just didn't want to tell you. I made a face when you pointed out something.
Oh, I didn't even realize.
No. I wanted to confirm something. So, like, you're not wrong. You're not wrong about the war aspect. Hold on, before I Google it. You're not wrong about the warfare aspect of Athena, because Athena is a skilled warrior, and technically you could put warfare in there. Ares is more so like, recognized for being the god of war. Like the one that's always that one problem always. You have to put that meme in here.
I remember.
It's like the One Piece. You want problems? Oh, that's Ares. You're not wrong. Like, so like Athena is like, I know like handcraft or handicrafts and like tools and weaponry and like warfare and stuff is in her ballpark. Like that is an Athena thing. But there's one specific thing that she's like really known for on top of that. So, and you actually said it in the episode.
Well, archery?
No.
What? In the episode?
Yeah, let's go back to archery. Let me Google and see what Google says, what they put it down as.
It's been a long time since I've learned about it, and I don't really go back to it very often. It's honestly probably been like 12 years since I remember like actively looking into it.
So yeah, they actually said everything here, and it was actually shown in the episode. Should I say it, Al? Because like they already kind of made it clear.
What?
Okay. All right. Well, I guess maybe I'm just kind of being OD about the point because
probably.
Well, no, because it's a god trait, and they all have traits of their god. So I guess it's not really a spoiler. So I guess it's not really a spoiler because it's a god trait. But you said it in the episode. Athena is mainly is known for being like the goddess of wisdom. And like math.
Okay.
And like strategy. And planning.
I think the strategy aspect is where my brain was like, oh yeah, goddess of war.
Yeah, no, I just Googled it, and you're not wrong. Warfare is a thing in there.
Yeah. I could have also been taught wrong too growing up.
No, not really. It's just that I've always known Athena to be like the goddess of wisdom first, warfare and like all that other stuff was like secondary.
Yeah.
But like strategy, like I'm confirming it here now. Strategy, strategic warfare, mathematics.
Okay. I mean, that does make sense for Annabeth.
Like wisdom is like her main thing.
Yeah, it does make sense.
Like they did a really good job because you said it in the episode.
Yeah,
you said it, and I was like,
I did.
But no, but that makes me happy though because like that's so Annabeth. Since they already showed it and you noticed it. Annabeth has always been like the leader in the sense of like she's always been like the one to come up with like she's always the one to think first, you know, and ask questions before running into something.
Yeah,
Percy Percy's literally like Harry Potter, bro. Like he would just run into a situation like
and come up with something on the spot.
And just come up with something on the spot.
Yeah. And
Annabeth is very much like Hermione in the sense that she's going to think about something. Yeah, she's going to strategize. She's observant. I mean, she's like looks around like.
Even when she was like trying to strategize about like Echidna, like it was like, okay, well, you and Percy go and don't stop. Like I'm gonna take care of it. 'Cause she knew like Percy was important and he had to be the one. But then, you know, obviously he turned the plans around. But even in that moment, she was strategizing.
Yeah, she's always thinking ahead for the most part. Yeah. And it's like, it makes me happy in the sense that I know that they have a way to explain these characters without telling you too much because you were able to pick up on it. Obviously, like, and you were able to pick up on it without even remembering the fact that Athena was like a goddess of like, you know, wisdom.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously the warfare part you knew because like she's good at fighting.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why she's like the best at camp.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of it, to add to it, it's like the fact that you were like, oh yeah, no, like that's, you know, that's wisdom, that's wise, or whatever you said specifically.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said.
I literally made a face and I was just like, okay, she picked up on it. I'm like,
I mean, I've picked up on it for a long time.
I know, but she didn't know, but you didn't acknowledge it.
I guess.
Like verbally.
I thought I did, but I easily could have just been thinking of it.
If you did, then I probably just didn't notice it at the time. Yeah. If you did,
because
I can say from my memory, I don't remember you acknowledging it verbally, but I could be wrong.
For all I know, I could have just not said anything because that's not something that's, you know, not within my wheelhouse of doing.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if that made sense.
I think so.
I don't know if the wording made sense, but
yeah,
like it's something I could see myself doing. It's just not voicing what I'm thinking. But I have noticed it like since like she was introduced in like episode 2. Like even since then, I've noticed she had like a whole plan, and like they were saying like, oh yeah, no, every time someone new comes to camp, she's always like watching them and like observing, and like when she like, you know, disappeared when they were playing whatever they were playing, capture the flag or whatever. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, she was just silently observing. So I mean, it does make sense.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm glad that they were able to showcase that without really saying much.
Yeah.
So that was pretty good. Like
I do think they've done a good job with that because, you know, like you said, like I don't know anything about these characters. I don't know how they're supposed to be. I don't know
You don't remember much about the gods?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact, capabilities. I know obviously like the bigger ones like Zeus, Poseidon,
Yeah.
But like some of the other ones, because there's so freaking many. There's so many.
I want to brush up on my Greek mythology for next episode. So there's a lot I forgot myself.
Yeah.
I used to be really good at it.
That's a lot, man.
Listen, I read a lot with things that I'm interested in, like when it comes to like, history and mythology and anything academic, like or anything intellectual. I will read it if I'm interested in it. Like if I'm not interested in it, I'm just probably not going to read it, and I'm probably not gonna think, because I have this like obsessive behavior of like being overly fixated on a very specific thing. Like once I'm like right now, like my thing is like F1 right now. Like I'm really liking F1. So I'm like deep diving in on F1 like every single day, like any free chance I get. I'm reading stuff, I'm watching videos, I'm like educating myself on the sport and the nature of it and the technology behind it. And I was that way with Greek mythology for a while. Like I remember being super addicted to Greek mythology and like and then like from Greek mythology, I started getting like addicted to other types of mythology too, and like other religions and other like, I became like, fascinated with, and I don't want like Hinduism is not mythology technically, but
religion.
But the idea of like, there's so many different gods and they do different things and they do that. I started looking at other belief systems that had a similar type of stuff, and I started getting into like Nordic stuff, and that's why I'm like, my obsession with Viking history and like Nordic things and the culture and all that. Like all of that stemmed a lot of that really stemmed from Percy Jackson. Like my obsession with learning, about these things and history and culture and all that stuff came honestly really from Percy Jackson. Like reading that, I literally remember going to the library and like just getting as many like Greek mythology books as I could. Like these really old books, man. Like we're talking like these books that came out in like the 90s and stuff. They're old. The pages are all like brown and yellow.
You just made some people feel very old. It was like, oh yeah, books that came out in the 90s. They're so old.
No, it's old now. No, it is, because
but at the time it wasn't that old.
No, I know, but I'm saying old as in now, because like
you're calling us old.
Of course we're old. Like, of course we're old, man. Like I'm approaching my 30s. Like it's crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm approaching my 30s. I'm not going to tell you exactly how, but I'm like this close to being 30.
30,000.
So it's like, so to me, as a kid, like, so as a kid, like any book that came in the 90s, it wasn't that necessarily old for me because I'm a 90s kid. So it wasn't that old for me, but it was older books. It wasn't like a newer book that came out in like 2000. Man, now I'm feeling old because it wasn't a book that came out in like 06. Oh, God. And like, because around the time I was in middle school, I'm not going to give you guys a range, but it was the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, approaching the 2010s. So approaching the 2010s, around there is when I was around middle school and stuff. So it's like, if it was a book from like 2007 or 2006, I'm like, okay, that's a newer book.
Yeah, it came out a couple years ago.
It came out a few years ago. It's not that old. But no, these books are like in the 80s and 90s, man. But anyways, I remember finding these old books, and they were old because the pages were older and
were well loved.
They were well loved pages. And it's like public school books, not public school, but like just public library books. You find like somebody's nasty snot, like crusty. All crusty in the back of the page. Oh my lord!
My library books from my library were pristine. They kept them in check.
Yeah, no, my public library was ghetto, bro. Like it was. I don't want to say it was ghetto. It was older. It wasn't updated. It's probably changed now.
Mine was updated.
Yeah. Mine wasn't really updated. We had like our audiobooks that we had were like on tape, bro. Like we had audiobooks that was on tape.
I mean, that was the norm around that time, though.
I know, but like, I mean, there was things like Audible and stuff was starting to come up. It was like, it was newer, I think there were some Kindles that could play audiobooks too, from what I understood at the time.
I didn't have a Kindle till like 2019, 2020.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, I wasn't really, I couldn't afford one if I wanted one at the time. But like, either way, like, I mean, most of the, like, I remember getting I'm going on memory lane now, but like, I remember getting a Beatles, I think I told you this story, like a bunch of Beatles music that I borrowed from the public library. And it was all on tape. And it was like, luckily I had a player at home that I could still play it.
Yeah.
And like, you know, there wasn't any, you know, so yeah, man, a lot of this physical media is going away. Sad. It's so sad. But anyways,
crazy. It's crazy.
I know. But anyways, getting back to Percy. Yeah, point is, I got to brush back up on my mythology. I used to really be into it at one point. And because of I'm the kind of person that I am where I obsess over certain things. If it's been a while and I haven't kept up on it, I'll forget a lot of things.
Yeah.
So it's been literally so long. So I have to go. I haven't been obsessed with Greek mythology since I was in high school. So, and that was a while ago. So I need to brush back up on my mythology for sure. I used to be an expert, man. You could ask me anything at that time.
Yeah.
And I knew everything. I could tell you everything from memory, man. Like, it was boom. I was like, boom, I could tell you this. Which god did this? Who betrayed who? Who did that?
Yeah.
Who's the son of who? How many kids are this? All the known demigods, all this and that. Hercules, this and that. Everything. I just knew everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then it made me enjoy the Percy Jackson stories more because I was able to correlate people's, you know, all these different gods' attitudes with like how they are in the book. And like, yeah, Rick, you got it. Like, that's exactly how Zeus behaves. And it's just like, memories for me, fun memories.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess we could wrap it up.
Yeah, I guess you can wrap it up. Yeah, I mean, any other thoughts? Did you have any other thoughts on the episode?
I mean, I just thought it was a good episode. Like, it was entertaining. Wish there was more of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I'm excited for next week's.
On a list of episodes for me, I prefer the last one more.
I'm with you.
In terms of this one wasn't a bad episode for story and everything.
Yeah.
But in terms of entertainment value, I don't think this one was as entertaining as the last episode.
I feel like this one had more like pivotal moments.
It did though. And that's what I'm trying to say. So narratively and like story wise, like, yes, like this is a very important episode.
Yeah, I feel like this is a real turning point.
Yeah, I mean, we also got to see more, you know, we're developing Annabeth's personality more. Mm-hmm. Her chemistry with Percy and Grover and their, you know, their storylines. And
yeah. So
we're seeing more development from her. And as each episode goes on, the better and better she gets to me. Mm-hmm. You know, because she's behaving like pretty much like Annabeth. And someone actually made a good point in the comments. I forgot exactly who made this point in the comments. If I try to go find a name right now, it's a lot of comments on those videos. And thank you guys so much for the comments. Please leave more. We love the engagement. I cannot go find it right now, but shout out to you for pointing this out. They made a very good point about Annabeth and why it doesn't matter that it's being played by a black woman or by a black girl. I should say she's not grown yet, but a black girl. Mm-hmm. And it was a very good point. So, and the point is this: in the books, and it made me realize why it doesn't matter now. Like why she's not this white blonde girl with, you know, silver eyes or whatever, gray eyes. It doesn't matter for one reason. Rick apparently made, you know, Annabeth like blonde because the stereotype of like being a dumb blonde. Mm-hmm. People don't take you seriously. And people don't take, you know, people just automatically think you're stupid because you're blonde. Mm-hmm. But the opposite is true for Annabeth in the books because she's probably the smartest one in the room, mm-hmm. most likely the smartest one in the room wherever she goes. But she doesn't follow the stereotypical dumb blonde trope. Yeah, you can say the same thing about black girls today. Yeah. A lot of people don't take black girls seriously. They don't. They think they're stupid, uneducated, ratchet. Mm-hmm. You know, ghetto. They don't think black girls are capable of high intelligence and being skillful and things like that. I mean, we really have a real life Annabeth already. I keep forgetting her name, but like that one girl that's like a teacher now, and she's like 15 years old, I forgot her and she's so smart. You know, so the point is that the representation aspect of a young girl that isn't being taken seriously because of her appearance is still being represented on screen. Yeah. The dumb blonde trope is something that still goes on today. You know, there's a lot of people that think just because you're blonde, you're a valley girl and you're stupid and you're just the dumb young girl trope. Young, you know, And I mean, girls in general, I know, as you know, we've had discussions about this. Obviously, you being, growing up a little girl, experiencing this, people not taking you seriously because, you're a little girl and you're dumb or whatever, you think you're dumb and all that. So, that's going to be there regardless. I've seen it with my sisters. I've seen it just observing it through my life that people just not taking young girls seriously in general, so, but the fact adding a black girl experience on top of it too, definitely thing. Like Annabeth, she reminds me of like my youngest sister, which I'm not going to talk too much about this right now, but she reminds me of my youngest sister because I can actually see, which it makes me happy because I can actually see a lot of my youngest sister in Annabeth because my youngest sister was kind of like that, like very, very smart, very intelligent. She was so wise beyond her years, right? Like just being able to like, look at a situation and be like, yo, this is this and that, this and that, So yeah, man. I mean, if my youngest sister, I could see a lot of her in Annabeth. So I'm personally happy with this. It has personal connection for me now. And I'm definitely seeing a lot of that in the character. So
if you're finding personal connection with it, I feel like there's a lot of people that also can.
I think that means a lot.
Like you said with the whole like dumb blonde trope, like there's a lot of like myself included. I was like a really intelligent, like young girl, like around her age, and like a lot of people just kind of would brush me off as, you're just a kid. You're just a kid. Meanwhile, like I had people coming to me, like adults coming to me to help with like problems that they couldn't figure out. And I would like figure it out in like 2 seconds. Yeah. So I'm seeing like some of myself in her. Yeah. And, there's a lot of people, I feel like a lot of young girls that can relate to her.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she's a great character for that. Yeah. Being able to say like, hey, listen, like, just because you're young, just because you're a girl, it doesn't make you inferior. It doesn't make you incapable of, and people, if I see somebody saying something about woke in the comments, like I said in the last year, I'm just going to block you, bro, because this had nothing to do with that. This has to do with, accurately representing the world the way it is. There's tons, millions, millions of young girls, young women that are so brilliant and smart and wise and capable of doing so many things that never get a chance to do that because they get brushed off as stupid, inferior, all kinds of derogatory names.
The minimization.
Yeah, just being told that you're... Man, I remember... I'm going off on a whole thing. I will say this is the last thing I will say because of the time.
Yeah.
But I remember watching Outlander. I was rewatching Outlander. And I won't spoil the context of this for those who may be watching or anything like that. But the main character, Claire, usually faces a lot of issues because, she's a woman, for one. Two, she's a very smart woman, like super intelligent. Like she would have been a doctor, at the time from what I'm talking about, if given the opportunity. She was a war nurse. All that you've seen season 1, so that's not a spoiler. She was a war nurse and she did all this, yada, yada, yada. And she's so intelligent, so smart. 90%, the smartest one in the room, 9 out of 10 times. And like, she's in the room having a conversation and her husband's next to her. And they're talking about something political. And oh boy, dare a woman say something about anything political at this time, right?
Yeah.
So she voiced an opinion as she read something talking about this, and she was making some really good points and whatever. And basically the guy was just like, you're gonna let your wife talk to me like that? Yeah. You're gonna let your wife speak? You need to curb your wife. Yeah. You need to thing, and like you need to teach her manners. I was getting heated. I was getting so mad. Bro, I was because I remember the first time I watched that episode, I was so mad. And then I was watching it again. Bro, I wanted to chuck something at my screen. I was like, this man better get off this screen before he catches a big fade from me. Like this guy, I was so mad, bro.
You're gonna jump in the screen?
Yes, I would find a way. I was so mad because it reminds me of like so many guys that like treat women like crap. It pisses me off, man. I just can't. I don't understand how people just treat people, you know, inferior just because of some stupid stereotype, bro. Like, if you act stupid, I'll treat you stupid. I don't care what you identify as. I don't care what race you are. I don't care how old you are, but I do care how old you are, because if you're a young kid, you're a young kid. But if you're like 30 years old and you're acting like a child, you know, I don't care. But if you're literally acting stupid and being ignorant and being dumb, I will treat you the way you present yourself to me. But if you present yourself to me in a different way, again, the same thing applies. I don't care what gender you are. I don't care your age in that sense. Like, I've met so many young, talented kids that are like
smarter than me,
12, 13 years old, and they're so emotionally mature for their age. And like so smart. And I don't treat them like a kid because of that. Like, it's just like, I would talk to them the way they talk to me. If they're speaking to me maturely, I speak to them with the same level of intelligence. And sometimes they can speak at a level of intelligence that's higher than mine.
I've definitely experienced that.
I've experienced that a ton of times. Like, I'm just like, I don't like, you know, like a family member of yours that I met, you know, I was talking to this kid. And I was just looking at this kid. I'm like, right, this kid is so smart. And I'm just like, wow. I'm like, this kid could like out-talk me, know so much. I'm like, wow, man, like this kid is genius, most likely. You know, and like I feel like people just need to treat people with respect the way that they present themselves to you. Don't judge them based on their gender. Don't judge them based on their age. Don't judge them based on their racial, you know, background or ethnicity or nationality. That stuff doesn't matter in the sense that, like, you know, just treat people the way you want to be treated. Treat people the way they present themselves to you, and go from there. You know, I'll close out the video with that message. You know, as a reminder to y'all, you know, treat people with respect. Don't judge them based on all the things I just said, you know? And like, I feel like we'd be a lot better in life if we just do that. Stop judging people and making, you know, racial or, you know, I can't, like, it's just, I don't get it why people are just like this. But I feel like I'm one of the few. I'd say one of the few, but there's a lot of people like me in this world, and we're all kind of shifting to that perspective now.
I think it's just as usual, the negative, you know, negative Nancy's.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't belong in this time period. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense. And I know a lot of people feel like that. I'm not saying I'm a special or anything for that. I'm just saying there's a lot of people that feel like that. That's just like, you know what?
We're in a weird age. Where there's a lot of progression and a lot of progression.
Right. There's a lot of progression at the same time. There's the opposite of it. Where it's like we're going in a good direction, but at the same time we're like taking like 10 steps back.
Because, you know, certain people that will not be named are trying to keep us in the past.
Lots of people are trying to keep us in the past, man. And, you know, all over the world.
Our age and younger are trying to move forward.
I really just hope that we can in the future. I know this video is really going on to a whole different thing right now, but I'm really trying not to make it politically or charged or anything. But my hope for the future is that and it's going to be on video. So hopefully whoever's watching this in the future, if you stumble across this video, I hope the world is different than it is now for the better. I hope, bro, because right now ain't looking so good, but we gotta have hope, right? We gotta have some hope that everything's gonna be better.
Because things aren't looking good and things also aren't.
We gotta have some hope, you know? We gotta have some hope. So we're gonna leave the video positive. We're gonna leave the video positive. We're gonna look forward to the next episode, hoping that, you know, you guys are gonna have a good day, good week, all that. Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. How you feeling about this episode? How you feeling about Percy Jackson? I know we kind of went off a little bit on the deep end there toward the end. Try not to make the video negative or anything like that, but when you're an adult at our age, we saw a meme yesterday. It was like how much stuff people our age has been through.
Literally. Like just a massive list.
Right, like older Gen Z kids, younger millennials have just been through like 50 years worth of experience in the span of like 20 years. And it's just like, or not even that, we've been like 80 years worth of experience in like 20 years.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But anyways, thank y'all so much for watching. Keep the positivity spreading. That's all we got to do. Got to have some hope, like I said.
Yes, sir.
Leave your thoughts in the comments down below about Percy Jackson. How you feeling about this episode? If you liked it, if you didn't like it. And yeah, we'll see y'all in the next one. Clockmaster.